Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
Hey guys, thanks for downloading the Membership Guys podcast. I'm Mike Morrison, your host for the show, and this, of course, is the podcast in which we discuss all things related to membership websites. So for today's episode, I want to talk about why people actually join membership sites. So there are many different reasons why people might join your membership site, but we can really boil those down to 8 core reasons that most of your members will actually join. First and foremost, most people will join for educational purposes. That's the most straightforward one. When we're talking about membership sites, we're largely talking about online learning, courses, community, and so on. So if your membership site is a one where you're teaching something or you're providing courses, then of course that's going to appeal to people who have educational needs, who want to fill some sort of knowledge gap that your course offers to fill. So that's the easy one. Most people, or a lot of people, will join your membership site for education, so they can learn something, so they can increase their knowledge about a topic. People will also join for results. Most people are joining up a membership site because they want some form of transformation. So the education side of things comes into that because the transformation there is they become better educated or more knowledgeable about something. But results, the actual end result that someone foresees themselves getting when they join your membership site is another big form of transformation. So it may be someone's joining your site because they want to lose weight. So they're joining for that end result of being a few pounds lighter, being fitter, being healthier. Maybe it's someone who's just wanting to increase their skill or their competency at their particular hobby. So that's the result they want. They're on a journey where they see an end goal further ahead that your membership site can help them to achieve. That's that transformation. So people will join for the results that they believe that you can get them. People will also join for community, so to network with other people, to be around people with shared interests, people who are at similar stages of their journey. And of course, if your membership site has a community element, whether that's an on-site forum, whether it's a Facebook group, then of course that's going to be a large part of not only what you promote, but also why people join. And of course, these reasons aren't in isolation. A lot of people will join for both the results and for the community element. A lot of people will join for education, for the courses, and for taking part in your forum or joining your Facebook group. So the community side of things, again, is something which is going to motivate people to join. People will also join for support. So again, this kind of can go hand in hand with community, but it might also just be the support that comes from your team. So, people might want to get into your community and join your forum and your Facebook group, but not necessarily because they want to mingle with others, because they want to develop relationships, but more so because they want a support system. So they want a sounding board to bounce stuff off. They want people to help them out. They want to know that there's somewhere they can go to get a helping hand, to get some input, to get some advice. So the support element can be a big part of why people will join your membership site. There's also access. So if you're running a expert-centric membership site, and by that we mean where you're the authority, you're the expert on a particular topic, and the site is largely geared around the fact that you have this knowledge and this expertise that you're going to pass on to other people, then people will join simply to get direct access to you. Even if they're not bothered about the rest of the community, they're not even too bothered about your courses. They just kind of want to be around you. So they're on your radar. They're able to engage in a dialogue with you. They're able to connect with you. That access can actually be a big motivator for why people will join membership sites that are largely based around one or two people essentially being the expert or the authority in their industry. There's also the curiosity factor. So you will actually get people who have no need or have no real interest in the actual material or even the community, but they're just curious about what you're doing. Sometimes that might be someone who is planning to do a membership site of their own. could be in the same industry, could be in a different industry. And we tell our membership site owners, our clients, and people in our community that one of the best ways to learn about how to create an effective membership website is to join other membership sites. So that curiosity factor could be there too. It might be a competitor who's just wondering what you're up to, or perhaps somebody who hasn't heard of you. They've never come across you before, but they find your sales page, they find your community, and they're intrigued by it. So they're just curious about who you are and what sort of quality you've got on your membership site. So not everyone's going to join your site because they actually want your material, they want your expertise. There is definitely a curiosity factor. And the next stage of that really is research. So that's people who specifically join your membership site because they want to research something about you, something about what you're doing, or maybe just something about your industry. And that's not always a nefarious thing. That doesn't mean it's competitors spying on what you're doing so they can steal your ideas. It could be a reporter, or it could be somebody who's looking to write an article about the best educational resources in your particular market. So again, these people aren't joining because they want transformation. They're not joining because they want access, support, or involvement in a community. They're joining purely for research purposes. And in a lot of cases, these people and the curiosity factor people, they probably won't stick around for very long. Sometimes they won't even identify themselves as members, so they won't participate, they won't introduce themselves. But again, it's just another different angle on why people will be joining. And the final one is you'll actually find, particularly if you put a lot of free content and free value out there, that people will sometimes join your membership site purely to support you or to reward you in some way. We've actually had a client where their whole journey with online business towards their membership site started with them putting out a blog in which they gave a lot of value in terms of free video lessons. And then when their membership finally launched a year or two after they started their blog, they had people who didn't really need the membership. They didn't need to be a part of it, but those people would join purely to show their support, purely as a thank you, because they felt that that client, they felt that person deserved to be rewarded for all the good value and all the good stuff they put out there. Now, I'm sure we'd love to think that we'll have hundreds of people flocking to join our membership site just to thank us because we're such great people. But yeah, that's not really going to happen, but it has happened. It does happen sometimes. It'll be a very small percentage, but you will get people who will want to make sure that you are financially compensated, that you receive some sort of thank you, some sort of support and reward for the time and the effort you put in to putting out free content or adding value to other people's lives. So those are just some of the core reasons why people might join your membership site. The obvious ones, such as wanting to educate themselves or learn about a particular topic, want to achieve some sort of transformation or some end result or goal, want to be part of a community, whether that's just to be in there, to be around similar-minded people, or because they need a support system that they can call upon and rely upon. Some people will join for access to you, for direct connection to you on a networking angle, or just so they can be around you and be inspired by you. Some people will join purely out of curiosity or because they're coming in with that motivation of researching what you're doing for whatever purpose. And then finally, that one we would all love to happen is the people who will join purely to support and thank you for the value you put out there. So it's important to have an understanding of the spectrum of reasons why people might join your membership site, because that can inform the way in which you promote and position your membership, and also the material that you provide and the way you conduct yourself on a day-to-day basis. So hopefully that's given you a perspective on the different reasons people might be joining your membership site, and it's given you some stuff to think about how you may want to approach the running of your site, the content you put out and so on, in order to make sure you're kind of ticking the boxes and you're fulfilling the different reasons people might join. And of course, there's no better way of finding out why people join your membership site than to ask them. It's always worth surveying your members every few months, especially your new ones, to find out how they found you, why they joined, what appealed most to them. Because then you can identify patterns, you can identify the stuff that is worth really shouting about in terms of the reasons why people join. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of the Membership Guys podcast. If you have, pop over to iTunes, leave us a nice 5-star review. It's going to be 5 stars with some nice words. Let us know what you think of the show, if it's helped you out, what stage you're at with your membership site and so on. And of course, you can always connect to us on Twitter, twitter.com/membershipguys, and at our website, themembershipguys.com. I'll be back very soon with another episode of the Membership Guys podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, we'd like to invite you to download our free Membership Success Toolkit. Simply go to www.themembershipguys.com/toolkit to download it today, and you'll get access to our membership site plugin comparison chart, our membership site planning guide, and access to our private Facebook mastermind group, which has numerous membership site experts and owners sharing advice and discussing all things membership sites around the clock. So that's www.themembershipguys.com/toolkit to download your free resources today.